Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at an article from the Telegraph. Now this was published on January 3rd. It's written by Dominic Nichols, their defense correspondent. And this is some funny shit. It really is. Because what they did is they decided that they're going to target the snowflake generation, the self-centered millennial generation, the binge gamer millennials, those types, you know, the me, you know, yeah. So what they did, and I'm going to show you as a comparison here. I'm going to show you definitely two. I might show you the third one, but I'm going to show you two U.S. Army recruiting commercials from the 1980s. What they did is they stole the whole concept of their commercial basically from the U.S. Army 80s recruitment campaigns. And they adapted it to the millennials, and it's kind of fucking funny. It really is. So we're going to go through the commercial there. That's part of the article, but and then I'll show you the other ones, and then we'll get into the article itself. But I might stop it. I might stop it with the commercial itself and point out a couple things, like with this one. The U.S. Army ones, I probably won't. But let's look at the title here, and then yeah, we'll look at the British commercial and go from there. British Army targets snowflakes, binge gamers, and me millennials in new recruitment drive. So let's look at this video here. You notice something? The girl digging the carriage out of the bushes and wheeling them in here, you know, black girl. And it's a fat white girl that's got a problem with her work ethic. You know, there's definite cultural Marxism in this commercial, because the two people giving her shit are fucking white. It's fucking hilarious. You know, they think they're gonna win people over with this psych fucking warfare shit, and they might with the dumbed down fucking leftist millennial types. But once they get into the military and they see what reality's like, they're going to want the fuck out, and they'll sign themselves in, but they ain't going to be able to get out. But yeah, so anyways, let's go on here.
Have you seen her? So slow.
Millennials, useless.
Yeah, translation. You know, they're trying to play it like, yeah, well, millennials, they're useless, but it's actually, you know, the subconscious, the subtext is, you know, white racists talking about a black girl. I'm pretty sure that's what they were intending with this.
Sounds like a perfectionist to me.
Always run! There's someone like out here!
Resilience.
We need that.
And the thing, what's funny is they bring up how she's slow. She's moving carriages and fucking sweeping. Okay? They're going to compare that in a second with a military operation and with slow and steady. They don't get that she's fucking lazy, and that's why, you know, she was dragging her ass with the carriages, and they think being lazy like that is a fucking positive trait, or they're trying to portray it as such.
Come on, chop chop.
Slow and steady.
See, slow and steady. Yes, when you're on the battlefield and you're doing, you know, in this, you know, dealing with an op at a certain time. Yes, slow and steady. You don't want to make mistakes. But when you're fucking moving carriages and sweeping the friggin' parking lot, you're getting paid by the hour, and they don't want to pay you fucking for 4 hours for something that could have taken you an hour.
Hello, 2-1 Alpha. This is Whiskey Tango, 4-1 Alpha. Eyes on target.
See, and the funny thing is like I said, they adapted this for the millennials, like the idea of the 80s campaign that like the U.S. Army used. Okay. So So they got to have that, like, you know, Call of Duty feel to it. So they do that thing, and it's fucking hilarious. It really is.
Patience. Always welcome.
Yeah, okay, buddy. Back in the day, playing Unreal Tournament and Tactical Ops, you know, as a mod and as a separate game off of it, I used to do the same thing. I used to sit there and you know, this was after Saving Private Ryan, and a joke with me and a couple of my friends, well, one in particular, because the way we would do it is like, say, capture the flag, one would proceed, and then the other one would cover, and so on and so forth, as we would sit there while we were talking on the phone, because it was before the days of, like, you know, having the ability to do voice chat like you can now while playing. And we both be going, the Lord is my shepherd. He will guide me and comfort me in my moment of need. You know, that's what that's kind of a play on. It really fucking is. And I think I dated myself by talking about the original Unreal Tournament there. Anyways. Your army needs you. Okay. Now, oh, all right. So, real quick, just to give you an idea of how they, because I mean, you can get the feel of what they were talking about, because they didn't specifically say this, but that's what they were trying to show, like, convey as, like, you'll be busy, you'll have all these things to do. But this is how they did it with the Army's commercial, U.S. Army's commercial in the 1980s.
You're reaching deep inside you. Go! For things you've never known. It's been tough, rough going, but you haven't gone alone.
We do more before 9 a.m. than most people do all day.
Hey, First Sergeant. Good morning.
You can do it in the Army.
See, like, I mean, that idea of being busy, having stuff to do, and that. The Army, U.S. Army was doing that in the 80s. Okay? They're now trying to do it with, like, this, you know, Call of Duty fucking aspect of it. It's kind of funny. And then the other one with, like, the idea of, like, the tech idea and recruiting people with a tech background, or people that would have an aptitude towards tech. Here's another commercial. This is from 81.
In today's Army, when artillery goes to the field, so does high technology.
All that you can be. Keep on reaching. Keep on growing.
Computers, laser-guided missile systems, and teamwork honed to a split-second response. And the Army gives you this kind of training with just a 2-year enlistment.
Yeah, you see, it's the same type of idea. I mean, although they're trying to push the idea of an education, you know, getting a technical education here. But there's that similar aspect, okay? And then this third one, you know, because they're talking about we're going after, like, the gamers and the tech savvy, which they actually talk about in the article. I should have given that a little bit of context with this commercial and the next one. But yeah, the idea is you know, you're trying to get the tech savvy people. So, I mean, this one's actually kind of funny because it goes to show you how things were in the 80s.
Hey, could I tap some of your computer expertise, son?
So you finally gave in?
Yeah, for starters, how does the disk fit into the disk drive?
Okay.
The Army can train you to program, operate, or fix computers.
What does the printer interface do?
It lets the computer talk to the printer.
They talk to each other. What do they say?
And then there's a telephone modem hookup.
And the computer training you get is yours forever.
Be all that you can be.
Like you're not going to be the only computer expert in the family.
Get an edge on life.
All right, I think you get the idea. So, I mean, they're basically rehashing concepts from the U.S. Army's 1980s campaign here to try to woo millennials. Oh, they modernized it, and they went, yeah, this'll work. I hate to break it to them, but it's not going to. All right, let's get into the article here, because some of this shit's funny. Like these posters we're going to look at in a second here. A new Army recruitment campaign seeks to target gamers and millennials stuck in boring jobs. You mean, basically, they got college degrees and got stuck in menial fucking jobs because New Age tarot card reading isn't a practical degree? Women's studies isn't a practical degree. Yeah. So they're working, menial bullshit jobs like at the supermarket, Starbucks, wherever else. They're in dead-end careers because of dead-end degrees. It's their own fucking fault. Why don't you, play off of that reality with them and say, hey, if you didn't get that degree in women's studies and came into the military, you might walk out with a fucking, career after. Or you can make the military your career. In the new series of adverts, the Army hopes to show how current 16 to 25-year-olds may already have many of the attributes needed in the modern military, but either dismiss them as irrelevant or see them as embarrassing. Now, what's funny is 16-year-olds are not millennials. They're Gen Z, which I don't understand how millennials got to skip the Gen Y. I'm Gen X. Those fuckers should be, anyway. But the thing is they're Gen Z at 16. They're pretty fucking conservative. I don't think you need to cater to them with this type of bullshit. They would do it more out of patriotism than a fucking millennial would being wooed by, ooh, I could go play Call of Duty in the real world. Which, do you really want that type of person in your military? That would see that and go, I want to play Call of Duty in the real world? Because odds are they're going to get their ass fucking shot along with the men and women beside them, that are in their squad. Oh, God. And these days, playing video games is not seen as embarrassing. For fuck's sake. Millennial retarded fucks who go, I'm good at a video game. I'm an athlete. Esports. No, you're not. You're a fucking kid that can play video games. That's like being the smartest kid with Down syndrome, to quote a phrase from the movie Waiting. It really is. That isn't embarrassing to the millennials. The new recruitment advertising campaign, titled Your Army Needs You, launches on January 3 with a series of adverts on TV and the internet as well as billboard posters. The 3 adverts tell the stories of individuals whose perceived weaknesses are seen as strengths by the Army. Yeah, a fucking slow, lazy millennial. How the fuck is that a strength? Please explain that to me. They're constantly getting on her ass because she's slow. She's not doing the job in a reasonable amount of time, obviously, if they're on her ass about it, because other people are able to do the job with high quality, with precision, and do so much quicker. So I don't see how that's a fucking benefit to the military, that she's a lazy shit. That's not a strength to the Army. Potential recruits are shown at home or work with others calling out their stereotypes before the scene changes to depict them in the Army performing roles where their potential is recognized. Yes, because you really want some lazy bitch on the front lines doing fucking black ops. Storming a fucking compound. She's gonna fucking drag her feet. Running across the fucking compound and get fucking caught. That's a real net benefit. I mean, this is why I wanted to do this article, because this whole concept is complete. To say it how an Englishman would say, is complete shite. It is complete and total shite. It really is. This whole recruitment thing, because she's going to get people killed being a slow, lazy fuck like she is. That's not a benefit to the military. Oh my God. Oh God. The Army hopes to show it can see potential beyond the stereotypes of millennials and Generation Z, those born from the 1980s to the mid-2000s. Slight problem. Slight fucking problem. Gen Z has a work ethic. Gen Z is conservative. Gen Z understands the concept of a meritocracy. So they work harder. The stereotypes about them are good. at this point. So look at these posters here. Snowflakes. Your army needs you and your compassion. Yeah, the last thing you need is a fucking snowflake on the battlefield. They'll get fucking triggered over something stupid, stand up and get a bullet in their fucking brain pan. They'll have their brains splattered across their squad. This other one's even worse. Me, millennials. Your army needs you and your self-belief. That's not what me is about. Me means you're a self-centered fuck, which millennials tend to be. It's an appropriate stereotype. That is not a benefit to the military. The military is about self-fucking sacrifice. If you don't have someone who's willing to self-sacrifice because they are a selfish fuckwit, like a millennial would tend to be, no offense to millennials, because it's a stereotype, one that tends to ring true. Not with all of you. Seriously, that's the last type of person you want, because you know what? They're not going to jump on the fucking grenade. They're going to throw their fellow soldier on it. Tell me I'm wrong. Because you know what? They're selfish. Why would they literally jump on the wire so someone can climb over them? Why would they put their body in that type of harm, to get cut up by razor wire and shit? So in the middle of a battle, his fellow troops or her fellow troops can get across the wire and strike. They're not about to do something like that. That's not what you need in the military. I mean, this is just so fucked up. The Ministry of Defense says that 72% of young people describe themselves as ambitious yet feel undervalued and want a job with real purpose. How many of those people were Gen Z by chance? Because if they were a large number Gen Z as opposed to millennials, that would explain a lot. Because millennials aren't like that. Millennials, they might see, they're not ambitious. They might see themselves as ambitious, but they're lazy. And the reason why they're undervalued is because their ambition and their production at a job values them. So they're not undervalued. They're actually valued accurately because their performance is reflected in their value. Or their value is reflected in their performance would be what I meant. The campaign also features Kitchener-style illustrations of soldiers with stereotype labels, which will be featured on billboards and outdoor advertising around the UK. In one of the posters, a class clown is praised for his spirit. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's what you really want. Some idiot who's the class clown in the military. These are literally the last people you want. Because a class clown doesn't know when to keep their fucking mouth shut. The reason why they're a class clown is because they open their mouth at those times that they shouldn't be opening their mouths. And they do shit that they shouldn't be doing, at a time that they shouldn't be doing it. That's the last thing you want in the military. Another highlights the compassion shown by so-called snowflakes. They don't have any fucking compassion. They virtue signal. That is not compassion. There's a fucking difference. Gaming and selfie addicts are said to have admirable levels of drive and confidence, and a woman described as me millennial is celebrated for her self-belief. I mean, seriously, we already covered the me one, but the selfie addicts, oh yeah, that's going to be real good. They'll be taking selfies in classified fucking areas and compromise shit. Yeah, real fucking smart on that choice. Gaming? Levels of drive? Fucking gamers sit on their fucking asses for hours on end, like esports, playing fucking video games. talking fucking shit to someone that they wouldn't dare do it face to face. That's not confidence. And that's not drive. All right, when you can't get off your ass from playing video games 10, 12, 14 fucking hours a day and bathe regularly, that's not drive. That's being fucking lazy. According to new figures from the Entertainment Retailers Association, the video game sector now accounts for more than half of the entertainment market. Okay, so that means you should start recruiting video gamers? Okay. The ERA said the gaming market's value at £3.864 billion is more than double what it was worth in 2007. Yeah, that doesn't mean shit. I don't understand how this is even pertinent to them fucking doing this. They're looking at the fact of that, and they're like, "Ooh, we can recruit." So they rehash this 1980s fucking mentality, sprinkle cultural Marxist bullshit into it, you know, like the U.S. Army things. Throw the cultural Marxism in with it, you know, throw some COD fucking in reality, like staged fucking, you know, war games footage in it. And they think they're going to get the best of the best. They're not. I mean, look at this. This is like 1984 here. I mean, this is an artist impression. Okay? But tell me that doesn't look like 1984 with these fucking posters going along the side of the building. That's like so 1984. It's fucking scary and inappropriate with these fucking posters. The video game Fortnite is considered the most popular computer game ever made and is currently thought to have over 200 million users. The Army is hoping to tap into this market of gamers. Yeah, see, the funny thing is, the U.S. Army tried this. They did it with, what was the game? America's Army. I believe that's what it was called. I don't even know if that's still out there. I've played it a few times. It wasn't a bad game back then when I played it. But they tried the same thing. And they really, doing that, I mean, they had a game that made realistic campaigns part of it. You know, the explosions, everything. And it really didn't help them on the note of recruitment. This idea of getting gamers isn't really going to help them either. Major General Paul Nansen, the head of Army recruiting, said, "The Army sees people differently, and we are proud to look beyond the stereotypes and spot the potential in young people from compassion to self-belief." Wow. It's almost like this was written by the Ministry of Truth in 1984. The Army can't see people differently. It has to look at people the same as the rest of society. It has to look at people the way it's been looking at them to acquire the best talent and manpower or staffing. So don't piss off the leftists, even though manpower. But to do that, okay, if you change your standards, your quality goes down. And the people that you're getting in are not your best. And this idea of compassion, snowflakes are not compassionate people. They virtue signal. If you look at snowflakes, they fucking spurg out over shit. And that's not because of compassion. That's because they can't get their virtue signaling points. All right, they want them. And they spurg out because they're like, "Ooh, if I spurg out about this, I can earn my virtue signaling points." And this idea of self-belief, a self-centered fuck is not someone you want. Like I said, already went through. That's not about self-belief. We understand the drive they have to succeed and recognize their need for a bigger sense of purpose in a job where they can do something meaningful. Yeah. They get in the military, they're going to realize it's not what they think it is. It's not going to be millennial friendly. Here you are. How do I put this? You're using false advertising to get these people in, and then when they're stuck in, they're going to find out it's not how you're claiming it is, where, you know, these people like because a snowflake is going to spurg, and then a snowflake is going to end up having an issue with his DI or his commanding officer once he's out of basic. Yeah, that's not going to go over well. In one advert, a young person is seen avidly playing computer games to the derision of his family. Before his interests in technology is shown to be a skill sought after by the military. Yeah, because playing video games on a fucking computer is a skill that the military needs. Yeah. All right, just because you can play a fucking computer game does not mean that you are truly computer literate. It does not mean that you have the skills to say, you know, program or troubleshoot or anything like that. It just means you can play a fucking video game. In another, a supermarket trolley stacker is seen being ridiculed by her colleagues for being slow before she's then shown in a combat situation where patience and attention to detail are critical. Okay, her colleagues are giving her shit because she is slow, because she's lazy. I mean, you could tell by the way she was sweeping, you know, didn't give a shit. And you're trying to spin that into it would be a good thing on the battlefield. No, because she's still going to be fucking lazy. All right, that's not slow and steady. That's lazy and fucking self-entitlement. You know, being self-entitled. Oh my God. The Army is struggling to meet its manning requirement. According to the most recent government statistic, the Army numbered 79,640 soldiers out of a requirement for 83,500. Army strength had declined by 3.1% in the year of October 1st, 2018. Yeah. So you're going to scrape the bottom of the fucking barrel. Good job. Excuse me. There were 12,130 soldiers recruited in the same period, a decline from 130 from the previous year. A decline of 130 from the previous year. That isn't that much. And 14,760 people left the Army. Yeah, you're having turnaround. Gavin Williamson, the defense secretary, said, "People are fundamental to the Army. The Your Army Needs You campaign is a powerful call to action that appeals to those seeking to make a difference as part of an innovative and inclusive team." I mean, just look at the fucking cultural Marxist fucking babble in that statement. The Your Army Needs You campaign is a powerful call to action. That's one of those leftist cultural Marxist fucking things, a powerful call to action. And then you have the, part of an inclusive, innovative and inclusive team, but we'll just focus on the inclusive part because that's what I'm talking about. Another cultural Marxist thing. The military is not about inclusion. It's about meritocracy. You want the best fucking people to be in the military, the most appropriate people, because the military there is its sole purpose is to defend your nation. If you have a bunch of snowflakes and lazy fucking millennials, that's not a good defense. I'm sorry to break it to you assholes in the military. But do you want the U.S., like it has been since World War I with the First World War, the Second World War, do you want us to keep bailing your sorry asses out? I mean, yeah, the Falklands, look who you fought. Okay, if you got into a real fucking war, you couldn't do shit without the United States. All right? And no offense, I mean, because I'm sorry, but the truth fucking hurts, okay? From a historical context, okay? World War I wouldn't have gone anywhere, would have stalemated out if it wasn't for the United States who turned the tide. World War II, same fucking thing. We've bailed your asses out of 2 world wars. You put millennials in your military like this, we're going to keep bailing your asses out for the next fucking century. Or the next 50 years at least. Some shit like that. I mean, no offense, but if you get triggered, the truth fucking hurts. Sorry to break it to you. It shows that time spent in the Army equips people with skills for life and provides comradeship, adventure, and opportunity like no other job does. Yeah, you could travel the world and fix refrigerators, to quote How High. Skills for life. You might fix some fucking refrigerators. Oh, God. Now all jobs in the Army are open to men and women. The best just got better. Yeah, because, in the UK Army, you really want your special forces, okay? To be 90-pound fucking women who can get picked up by, you know, a terrorist, thrown on their back and brought back to be sold into sex slavery. Yeah, real fucking smart. That'll go over real fucking well. And will they blame, you know, the truck driver or peace, you know, religious group that would tend to do something like that if that was the case and they did, you know, with someone from that? No, they would say toxic masculinity. They would blame it on, you know, white men. But yeah, this is yeah, just got better. Yeah, your military just got worse when you're gonna have affirmative action. So you're gonna have unqualified women in positions they should not be in. Yeah, bravo, good fucking job. Like those ones that are physically demanding. I mean, don't get me wrong, a woman would make a fucking awesome tank driver. Or a member on a tank crew. I mean, to me, that would make sense. Because tanks are cramped. They tend to be smaller. Just saying. The campaign has kept the slogan, be the best. Oh yeah, be the best by recruiting the worst. Oh shit, that's funny. There had been speculation early in 2018 when the last series of recruiting adverts were launched that the line was to be removed from future Army recruitment campaigns. Reportedly, the defense secretary had stepped in to demand the slogan be retained. Yeah, because when you're recruiting the bottom of the fucking barrel, you really don't want to say be the best. Oh shit, this is some funny shit. This is why I wanted to cover this article. This is seriously some fucked up funny shit. They rehash the U.S. Army 1980 style fucking advertising campaign. They throw a little glitz, glamour, some, you know, Call of Duty in real life that was staged for it, and they think that they're going to get the best of the best by recruiting these fucking wastes of space. When they should be going after the Geordie types, you know? Fucking wearing a t-shirt in the middle of fucking winter, that type of shit. Oh, God. Anyway, I've covered this well enough. I'm going to leave things here. If you liked this video, depending on where you are watching it, please give it an upvote or thumbs up. If you want to know when new content of mine hits the internet, don't forget to subscribe to one or more of my social media or video accounts listed here. Also, with YouTube, don't forget to ring that bell. You can find all of my video content on both BitChute and YouTube. This may not be the case with other places I upload to, but I will try to minimize this happening. You are always welcome to interact with me at any of these sites on the list, so feel free to do so. If you have anything you want me to cover in a video, when it comes to news or current events, send it right along to me. I will try to do my best to cover it. As always, thank you for watching.